Gemar Chatima Tova, everyone, and good afternoon. It's truly a wonderful thing to be together on this Yom Kippur. It is a day of awe and fear, as this little melody states and as the text states. It is a day when we face our own mortality, when we face our deeds or lack of deeds over this past year, and we think about how we might improve ourselves over the next year. That's the main thing, of course. But there's a second part to this tune, and that is Ani Elecha Evtach. I trust in you, capital Y-U. It's a way of saying that even though I fear, and we're all fearful at many times, that having faith kind of makes fate a little easier to swallow. We talk about this on the high holidays, and we talk about the idea that there are three things we can do to improve the decree, if you will, the fate that we face over this next year. One is Teshuva, return. One is Tefila, which is prayer. And the third is Tzedakah. Normally we translate that as charity. And in fact, it is charity. And in no way would I tell you not to be charitable. However, we can be charitable with others. We can be charitable toward ourselves as well. So we're going to get into that with basically three meditations today. I'm going to start out with a little music, and then sort of a pre-meditation, which is just to kind of set ourselves in the right space for meditation and to create, if you will, a sanctuary within which we can begin to pray on this day of awe. Yom Yira, Yom Yira, Yom Yira, Yom Yira, Ani Elecha Evtach, Ani Elecha Yom Yira, Yom Yira, Yom Yira, Yom Yira. So I ask you now to be in a comfortable position, feet on the floor, flat on the floor, back as straight as possible. Use a pillow behind you if you like. Take a couple of deep breaths. And as I continue, I'm going to share my screen with you because you don't need to look at me for the next several minutes in meditation. I'm going to share with you this. This is our spiritual center at Valley Beth Shalom, Efshar, which means it's possible. It's possible to have a deeper spiritual experience. It's possible to deal with things that we encounter, the struggles of life, in a new way. And we do it through Jewish tradition. Therefore, Efshar, it is possible. So right now, again, to be as comfortable as you possibly can, that's possible also. If you have aches and pains, don't run away from them. Just like running away from your problems never really is a great solution. Find those places of discomfort, try to make them a little more comfortable, and bring your attention to those places mainly with love and with compassion. And I ask you to take some deep breaths. And sorry about the noise, but I'm going to do away with my video for now. And now as your attention travels around your body, find those places of discomfort. Maybe your knees are not in a great position, or maybe there's some tension in your shoulders, in your neck. Move your head around if you want to. And allow yourself to settle. As you do, you'll notice one thing that is very constant, and it's your breath. The word neshama in Hebrew means soul, and the word neshima means breath. So they're very much connected. There is something that is constant and eternal about your soul, and likewise, your breath is constant, hopefully eternal. And as you focus on it, just notice it. Don't try to change your breathing. Just allow yourself to be breathed. And as you do, just appreciate the wonder and the deliciousness of your breath. Isn't it remarkable how little we focus on it? And we have the luxury, most of us, of having easy breathing. If you don't, then you know what I mean, that it can be something that draws your attention. But right now, we want that to happen. So we're going to take just a few minutes, 3-4 minutes. And I want you to just focus on your breath. And as you notice your mind creating little journeys and scenarios for you, just bring your attention back to your breathing. 3 or 4 minutes right now. And now as your mind starts to take you away from your breath, we start to think about this first concept of return, Teshuva. We need to return to our essential selves. And so if the liturgy is true on high holidays, that Teshuva is one of the ways that we can deal with life's struggles in a better way. That, as it says in the prayers, that the severity of the decrees that we face, of the fate that we face, can be lessened. Certainly they can be lessened if we can learn to come back, to return to our essential selves and to see things as they are. Can my own planning and worrying and self-focus that obscures sacred moments in the world, can I transcend those moments of planning and worrying and focus on the wonders of the world that are right in front of me all the time? That's the meaning of Teshuva. So now, for our first meditation, we'll take about 5 or 6 minutes. And the exercise is simply to notice that you're thinking about something other than your breathing and go back to your breath. And then again, you'll notice and come back. It's a simple exercise, but it's really very fundamental in meditation and in life, actually. So let's take those 5 or 6 minutes right now with our first meditation. Simply a breathing meditation, but it's a disciplining of the mind to let go of the planning, let go of the reminding of yourself, let go of the have-tos, and just be. You're free to do that. 5 or 6 minutes right now. And now once again, return to Teshuva for a moment, just to come back to this present moment. And this next breath. And this next breath. Yom Kippur is a day to recognize that we only have so much capacity to control the things that happen to us. We're constantly projecting what might happen. Maybe today is a day to begin to let go just a little. And the way to do that is to start to recognize the divine in every moment. To see the divine presence is here. It's in every moment. But if our minds are obsessed with controlling the environment of our environment and the things that happen, then we can't see it. It's that simple. So this is a day to slow down. And this idea of Teshuva is very central to that. So now let's just take one more minute just to allow yourself to be breathed and to just focus on that one thing. Can we do it for a minute? Maybe two? Let's try. Lie, 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 I am alive. Lie, 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 I am alive. Lie, 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 I am alive. I'm alive. And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness that I am? Is it not the blessed Holy One? I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I'm alive. Continue to focus on your breath for a moment. As we move now into the second idea, which is Tefila. And I have some wonderful learning from Rabbi Dov Singer to share. Rabbi Singer says we should stop thinking of ourselves only as Homo sapiens and start thinking of ourselves as Homo mitpalelot, as praying beings. After all, he writes, there is a constant call, a longing inside people that whispers to them in waves of ebb and flow. Pleas, desires, requests, words of gratitude. Many times in a person's life, consciously or not, we stand before, asking for our lives, yearning, desiring. Certainly true on this day of Yom Kippur. And then he goes on to say, prayer, even before it is a request, even before it is an expression of gratitude, even before it is praise, it is an encounter of the divine presence. It is an encounter with the Shekhinah. It is an encounter with God's indwelling presence. Therefore, the first step we take as we enter into prayer is the opening of consciousness to presence, to the sense that God is here, above me, in front of me, around me, inside of me, to the knowledge that all things I see around me are not only inanimate objects, rather they hold within them deep desire and yearning, to the sense that each person and around me truly exists, present and full of longing, and the source of life is also here, reachable, close, touching. The call to prayer is a call to life, a call to open to the deep primal voice that stirs within us and in all of reality in every moment. Ah, that's so beautiful. So what is the prayer that stirs inside of you in this moment? What is the yearning that you feel? Is it a yearning to express wonder, gratitude? It is a longing for life, for goodness, for healing physically, for healing your soul, for healing relationships, perhaps. This is the time for that. So now we move from Teshuva to Tefila, to prayer. Perhaps you've been praying in the synagogue today. Perhaps not. It doesn't matter. What matters is what is that prayer for you right now. So I'm going to take a little bit longer with this. 7, 8, 9 minutes, something like that, for you to look inside. And so I'm going to set the stage for this a little bit. It says in the Torah, build me a sanctuary that I may dwell within you. So let's build a sanctuary for a moment. I want you, with eyes closed, to imagine that you are that sanctuary, and that with each breath, you bring a kind of light inside. And as you illuminate that inside, see where there are some crumbs to sweep aside. See where you might simply clear the space of the clutter that we normally accumulate. And then as you inhale, allow that inner space to become brighter and brighter. But when you exhale, Just let the schmutz out, but keep the light inside. And then once the space is made holy, what is a prayer or multiple prayers that might bubble up within you? And how can you address these prayers to the divine, to the divine presence, to God, to the Holy One? Maybe you like to say Baruch Atah Adonai, but if you do, when you say Atah, who are you addressing? So what I'm asking now is to use what we call kavanah, to direct your heart and your prayer very intentionally. Let it arise and then bring it forth in a very direct and focused way. We're going to take, like I said, 7, 8, 9 minutes to do that right now. Let it be deep and true and sincere prayer. And now, if you have left your sanctuary, return. Do a little Teshuva and return now to this inner sanctum, if you will. And let's examine it now. Do you have a sense of that inner light and how it's grown? Do you have a sense of the sort of divine emptiness that has filled with a sweet and loving feeling? We so clutter our lives that there's no room for anything else. You know, the concept of nature hates a vacuum. This is what we do to ourselves. So let that emptiness be precious. And fill all the spaces of your body. Imagine that you are just an empty, holy vessel, a clay kodesh, into which this divine eminence can flow. Let's just sit with this for 2 minutes. Now just return to your breath simply and with intention. And now we talk about, finally, tzedakah. Tzedakah being the third thing that can make whatever is decreed for us lessened, as it says in our liturgy. I just want to return to what I said earlier, that we should develop a sense, this is from Rabbi Singer again, that every person around me truly exists, present and full of longing, and the source of life is also here, reachable, close, and touching. What I said before was that tzedakah, while it truly does mean charity and giving, and I would never say don't give of yourself that way, we can develop the ability to be more giving to others in our interactions, in our conversations, in our business dealings, in our families. We too often, because we are so cluttered and because we can't get ourselves out of the way often, that our vision is clouded, our spiritual vision is clouded. And so as you walk the world over this next year, can you find a way to quiet yourself when you are speaking with someone else, when you are thinking about someone else, when you encounter a struggle, a problem, a bill for something that you weren't expecting, rather than allowing our lower selves to dominate in those moments, can we perfect ourselves to the point where we can just breathe and consider where that problem is coming from? What is it about the other person? What is their trouble? What is cluttering their minds that they might act in a way that might not be ideal? And so one way to do this is just to not judge, just as we are learning through our breath and our meditation, to not judge ourselves, but just to return to our essential selves for that moment and be able to react in a loving way. And so now for just the next 2 minutes, just bring to mind someone you love. With whatever baggage that comes with that. Let go of the baggage and just love the essence of that person. Love them for their better selves. And at the moment when you feel this the most intensely, let go of the image of that person and just hold on to the feeling of that love. And when you're ready, let that feeling and that expression of love spread out to the whole world. This is tzedakah also. This is true giving of the self, letting go of the ego, of your desires, and simply loving and being present. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, lai lai, yaladai lai. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, lai lai, yaladai lai. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, yaladai, yaladai lai. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, lai lai, yaladai lai. I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai, then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, lai, lai, yaladai, lai. Olam chesed yibane, yaladai, lai, lai, yaladai, lai. Gemar Chatima Tova. I'm wishing you a year of peace, of joy, of love, of Teshuva, of Tefila, Tzedakah, and Shalom, of real wholeness. Wonderful to be together today.